Let's start off the injured list.
All right, yeah. So on Thursday, Jeff Passan reported on ESPN that Major League Baseball to rename the disabled list as the injured list due to the concern of the term disabled for injured players falsely conflates disabilities instead of
Huh.
injuries.
Huh.
So what do you think about that?
Um, well, I mean, you're kind of just taking the true point out of guys being injured in baseball now. It's been the disabled list for so long, and
Mm-hmm.
now they turned it to the injured list, and because guys are thinking that it's maybe talking about disabled people falsely, but I think they're kind of I don't know changing the whole idea of disabled list now.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like that. I mean, I don't want to. I don't really want to say this, but I feel like everyone knows the players aren't like actually disabled, and like
Yeah,
so. I feel like the term, like if they were to change it to injured reserve, like in football, like
yeah,
I kind of get it, but just injured list sounds. It just doesn't like sound good. It just
no,
the DL. It just sounds like the DL or the IR. It's just like it sounds good, not the IL.
yeah. Who's gonna call it the IL now?
I
Yeah,
don't
there's gonna be a Major League Baseball player walking around saying, "Yeah, I'm on the IL now."
know.
People are gonna be like, "What is that?"
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Jeff Piffier, MLB's senior director of league economics and operations, said, quote, in recent years, the commissioner has received several inquiries regarding the name of the, quote, disabled list. So, yeah, I don't really know why it was such a big deal, because no one really calls the players it's like you're either enabled to play or you're disabled to play. Like it's not
Yeah.
like you're actually physically disabled. So
Hmm.
I don't.
Physically disabled people um, are not going to be on a baseball field. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, yes. We don't mean any offense to anybody,
No, no,
but
no, 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 not at
that
all.
is
Absolutely not.
that is the fact of the matter.
Yeah.
And yeah, and also a number of teams have been accused of using a shorter DL. It was changed from 15 days to 10 days in 2017 to manipulate rosters. So pretty much like teams are kind of almost abusing the 15-day DL and actually kind of like trying to sneak in a 10 day stint on that DL. But I feel like the DL is it's almost like a like classic pretty much. I don't think really anyone knows the year that it was put into play. I'll try and figure that out right now, but I just don't know like the need to change it.
Yeah. And you see like so many teams that are they put a guy on the DL. It's like whatever 15, 30 days,
Hmm.
and they're bringing maybe one or two minor league guys up for I don't know maybe maybe 15 days, whatever
15,
it
yeah.
is, and as soon as these guys are back healthy, it might not even be 30 days. They're
Hmm.
back in the running, and these guys who are brought from the minor leagues are kind of getting screwed over because they're thinking, "Wow, we're finally going to get our chance," and now this is kind of over. You see, like
Yeah.
for example, there was a guy in the Athletics last year, Nick Martini.
Hmm.
He was up for probably a month or two.
I don't even
Um,
think it was a month. Like he was. It wasn't
no,
that
yeah, no,
long.
and he was freaking leading off for the Athletics, and then all of a sudden you're like, wait, why is he out of the lineup? And then they're like, oh yeah, they bring one of their relievers back or something like that. These guys are kind of getting screwed out of their shots, you
Yeah.
know?
I don't know if you watch Mark Antonelli on YouTube. I'll leave his link down in the description of this video. But he was a first round draft pick by the Padres, and he got called up a few times. But he said one of his major points in one of his videos was that a lot of the young guys they kind of fall victim to like the especially nowadays the 10-day DL instead of what
Yeah.
was the 15-day DL. Like they'll like what you said. They'll bring a player up and like just because someone's hurt or not even hurt, if they just want to see what they got for 10
Yeah.
days, and then they'll just bring that other guy will get off the DL and they'll send the young guy back down to the farm. But
Mhm.
I did find out that according to Wikipedia, the disabled list, its first season being called the disabled list was 1966, and originally it was a 10-day DL, a 21-day DL, a 30-day option, and a 60-day DL. So it's like I don't really see any problems with it at the moment. So I don't really understand what the need was to change it.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, that we might need to look into this a little bit more.
I don't. Excuse me. Oh Jesus. I don't. Yeah, just I don't see like the need to change it because like
Yeah, because I don't think that I don't know, a big amount of people were thinking, oh man, they're really talking about disabled people or something like that. Like, okay, people know it's a DL. If you know baseball, you don't even really need to know baseball to know that the DL is a disabled list, which means guys are hurt for whatever. And I don't know, I don't really know who decided to bring this issue along, but I think it's kind of taking some of the culture away from baseball, to be completely honest.
But at the end of the day, some people will just say, "Oh, it's just a name." But that's that could be the same thing said about Miller Park's new change, which I know Ray, you know that I'm not too fond of to AmFam Field, but it's just kind of like it's been that way for a while, and there's been no problems. Like, what's the need of changing it?
Yeah. I don't know. Some teams lose their rights to the field, whatever. Some companies, whatever it is, but it's once again taking away the culture of baseball. Like, for example, as you know, Comiskey Park was changed to U.S. Cellular, and now it's all of a sudden guaranteed rate, which makes absolutely zero sense.
U.S. Cellular, it wasn't a horrible name. Well, the name itself wasn't great, but I know the fans nicknamed it to the Cell, which that had a good that had a
good ring. I like that. And then all of a sudden it's guaranteed rate, and they're like, okay, what are we going to call this now? It takes away the culture of true Chicago White Sox fans.
And but it is like I think one of the they're trying to save up to get for the team get all these big free agents. I know that was a main point. Well, not necessarily a main point of why Adetanasio, the Brewers owner, decided to sell the naming rights to American Family Insurance. But I feel like that was since after a great run in the postseason last year, getting to Game 7 of the NLCS. The furthest we've gotten in the NL, because when we went to the World Series, we were in the AL at that point. But I feel like that's just to save up, because once Christian Yelich and Orlando Arcia and all these young guys, like they're off of their minor league contracts, are going to be wanting a big salary, and I feel like that naming rights contract really would help them out there. And
absolutely.
Yeah, and it's just. It's rough, but you're just gonna have to deal with it. But the DL is so much different than that, because it's not like the MLB's making any money off of calling it the DL or the IL.
They're making jack squat from that.
Yeah, it doesn't really make any sense.
No.
All right.
I think we should talk about Kyler Murray decision. What do you think, for baseball or football?
I don't know, but did you by happen to chance watch his interview on the Dan Patrick Show?
I caught a little bit of it.
Yeah, it was. I thought it was really funny. It felt like the entire time Dan Patrick, who's been on the radio for a while, he just kind of kept trying to bait Kyler Murray into saying, which as a joke, obviously. what sport he was gonna play. Like, he always has like a quarterback come on and like throw a pass to I think it's like his assistant McLovin, they call him.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he made this hilarious joke where he was standing up and he said, "Do you want me to catch it like this, standing up in like a wide receiver position, or like this?" And he like went down into a catcher squat. And it's just like, it was really funny because it looked like he was trying to get him to bait which way he wanted to go. And, yeah, I thought that was really funny. But if I were in his position, I like the idea of declaring for the draft. You know, getting the possibility to, because another point that Dan Patrick came up with was if he got drafted by the Raiders, because they have a fairly high. They have a lot of picks in the first round, but I think their first pick is fourth, and the fourth overall pick, and I don't necessarily think they're gonna take Kyler Murray fourth overall. But I feel like it wouldn't be a horrible decision because I think they have like 3 or 4 first round draft picks. And Ray, where'd you go? Oh God, you keep disconnecting, bud.
Yeah, I really don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
I'm literally still in the Skype app. I haven't got out of this whole time, and it just disconnects. Okay. Anyways, keep going on about Dan Patrick show.
Yeah. What part were you disconnected? How much did you get out of it?
You were talking about how he was baiting McLovin.
McLovin. Oh yeah. So
yeah.
He he the entire time he tried to get him to say which sport he was going to choose, and at one point his assistant McLovin got up in a wide receiver stance and like he said, should I stand like this or like this, and gets down in the catcher's position, and it was just
God.
yeah, it was just really funny the entire time. But another main point that Dan Patrick came up with was the idea of him being drafted by the Raiders and playing bull sports, kind of like what Bo Jackson did with the Royal, but he did it with the Royals and the Raiders, so like two pretty far away teams. But and Kyler Murray
across the country.
Yeah, Kyler Murray. Or actually, Deion Sanders did the same thing when he was with the Falcons and with the Braves when he played both in the NFL and MLB. But Kyler Murray is kind of vague in pretty much the entire interview. It kind of seemed like I don't want to say didn't want to be there, but he just didn't really want to like say what sport he was going to choose, which makes sense. But I feel like he kind of like almost said like, oh, it would be a good idea like if I got drafted by the Raiders to play both sports. So
that's interesting. To be honest, personally, I think he has a better shot in football, and I feel like he is going to be a better fit for football because here he is. He's a pretty cocky kid, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like he's not going to be one to ride around in these 30-year-old bus driving across the country, playing single A baseball, rookie ball, and and when he could get the opportunity to be on a professional football team, luxury everywhere they go. He's kind of I don't know. That's what it seems like to me because he's kind of a cocky kid. I feel like he's going to want to be in the big show right away.
Yeah.
Where he's going to kind of going to get anxious and I don't know, maybe lose some ability, but
correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he'd play rookie ball with the Beloit Snappers. I think that's a rookie team in right I think right on near the border of the good old Wisconsin Illinois border, a little bit outside Rockford, if you know where that is. But
yeah, go Snappers.
Yeah,
I've been to a couple games.
Yeah,
I love the Snappers.
I've been to my fair share of them. But I feel like, I don't think he's going to want to climb, like, the ladder of, rookie ball to single A to double A to triple A all the way up there because you never really know. Like, you could blow out a knee or you might need to get Tommy John, like, anywhere up on that pipeline. and
Hmm.
you never really know because baseball, it's like not a sport where like not everyone's like a Bryce Harper or a Mike Trout. All right, no one can like, especially like I don't know Keston Hiura. He's a second baseman for the Brewers. He's their best prospect, and he started the
Uh-huh.
league. He started last year in rookie ball, and he shot all the way up to Double A within the span of a year. And
Mm.
he's now being brought out to spring training this year. So it's not everyone's going to be like that. You might be trapped down at single A for a few years. Where in the NFL there is no minor league system, and you could be
Uh-huh.
starting for, let's say, like the New York Giants like week 2.
Yeah, and how big is this guy on the Brewers?
Brewers Keston Hero.
Yeah.
Um, he's supposed to be really solid. He's he's I saw him at the Brewers Fan Fest there, and
Yeah.
he's not the biggest guy. He's only weighing in at 190 pounds. I think he's around 6 feet 5'11", that area.
Hmm.
So he's not like the biggest player, but he's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I've seen some of his tapes, especially when he's with the Biloxi Shuckers down there in Mississippi. But
Yeah. And that's one thing that Murray has against him is his size. He's not that big.
mhm.
So, he is a strong guy. He can run, but is he really going to be able to drive a baseball against 95 plus mile an hour arms?
Yeah,
Because
like
he's gonna see that in single A and double A is where you get the best competition on any minor league organization because you get up to triple A and there is prospects there that are coming up, but it's a lot of washed up guys because washed up 30-plus-year-olds aren't going to be going back down to double A to play,
mhm.
They're either going to get cut or they're going to stay in triple A and, just kind of go along for the ride, keep making their $750,000 a year, whatever it is.
Mhm. Yeah, I hear you.
So honestly, I think he's got a better shot in football wherever he lands. If he goes to the Raiders, the Redskins, the Giants, he's obviously the Raiders because Gruden loves Carr. He's
Yeah,
probably not going to start for a couple of years, but
Gruden
he go.
Gruden loves the veterans. Really, he's
Yeah,
never really liked the young guys. He's always liked the veterans who not necessarily proven, but like been in the league for a while. They get offenses, and have
yeah,
been around experienced defenses too.
yeah. They're team leaders,
Mhm.
because are we going to see Kyler Murray come out right away and be a team leader? I don't know, maybe, but I think he's going to have that best experience with the Giants or the Redskins because the Redskins are in pretty deep mud right now with their
Yeah.
QB situation.
Yeah, I think that's a great segue into our mock drafts. I feel like that'd be a great segue to talk about our drafts. Do you want to go first, or do you want to let me?
You can go ahead.
All right, I think we're
Go ahead.
we're both in agreement here with Nick Bosa going number 1 overall to the Cardinals, and I think most people have agree with us on that one.
Oh, absolutely. The guy is a physical specimen who's just gonna feast in Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
I think he has potential to be better than his brother. I know. Joey plays DN, but still.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got the privilege to watch Nick Bosa absolutely terrorize Alex Hornibrook in the Big Ten championship game, and that was rough to watch. But he is a special player, and he didn't play in OSU's bowl game. Or like either he didn't play in the bowl game or he didn't play in like the last few games due to I think he wanted to get surgery on something or didn't want to and wanted to stay healthy for the draft. One of the two.
Yeah, probably one or two. We see so many guys doing that now where they're sitting out the bowl game. And to be completely honest, I think it's good, but finish your career out, man.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. Finish out with a bang. You either know you're gonna get drafted or you're a senior that's done after this. So finish your career out.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, at the same time, you can also see the other side. Like you're wanting to save yourself for the draft. You don't want to hurt your draft stock by being
Oh
hurt.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. I think should we move on to number two?
Let's do it.
All right, I little unpopular opinion here, but I had the D lineman from Clemson, Christian Wilkins, going number two overall to San Francisco because I know Kyle Shanahan. Not the biggest defensive guy. He does like his offense with Jimmy Garoppolo and all
Mhm.
those guys, but I feel like they really do need a lot of help on defense. Ever since the days of Navarro Bowman playing linebacker for him and Alden Smith and all those guys, I feel like
Yeah,
their defense is a little bit lacking, and I feel like Christian Wilkins really could help them out a lot. It was really a debate between him and Quinnen Williams, but
yeah,
I feel like Wilkins fits more. I don't want to say like more like of an NFL scheme. He uses his power move really well along with his finesse, and I feel like Quinnen Williams. I think he just likes to just try and run the O lineman over, but I feel like Wilkins can perform power and finesse moves. Who did you have at number two?
I mean, I had Williams.
Mm-hmm.
To be completely honest here, I don't think you can go wrong with either guy. But
That is true, yeah.
I think they need that one push or that one power guy back on that D line after whatever that year was. That 2012, they had that Super Bowl run where they played the Ravens in the Super Bowl. Harbaugh versus Harbaugh, and they had Justin Smith. Justin Smith and Alden Smith. Those two guys were basically unstoppable. I feel like Williams is kind of more of a power guy that'll fit that. Just I'm running guys over, full head of steam every possession, no matter what, kind of grinder guy.
Yeah. All right. Moving down to number three. I think I remember we both had Josh Allen from Kentucky going number three. Yeah, I think Todd Bowles will. I think he'll really like Josh Allen. I put it in my notes. I could see a possible move to an outside linebacker position because he does have a decent amount of speed on him. But I feel like he didn't cover any guys. If he did, a very few guys in college. But I feel like if he can up his coverage, probably move. I wouldn't be surprised to see him move to to an outside linebacker role on that team.
Yeah, and to go back to the Bulls point, remember he got fired.
Oh yeah, that's right.
They got Adam Gase from the Dolphins.
Gase, yeah. When I said Todd Bowles, I wasn't 100% sure if he was still there or not. And I forgot that he got fired. So thanks for bringing me up for.
Yeah, I got you.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. I definitely think. I remember Muhammad Wilkerson, who's now a Green Bay Packer.
Well, technically he's a free agent,
which hurt us.
Yeah, that was fun.
I think Allen's kind of going to bring that once again that power push to that D line slash. What do they run, a 4-3?
I know with Bulls they really like the 3-4. I don't know. I don't really know much about their new quarterback. Head coach they got from Miami. But I wouldn't be surprised to see the 3-4 in there too, or the 4-3. Excuse me.
I definitely think if they are in a 3-4, I could possibly see him moving to outside linebacker, like you were talking about.
Yeah.
And if they run a 4-3, I think they might stick with him on the D line and kind of give him that extra push,
Yeah, for sure. All right, moving down to number 4, I had Quinnen Williams from Alabama, and I feel like that'll just be I don't want to say necessarily perfect fit because you never know, nobody's perfect, but I feel like Gruden would really like Quinnen Williams type person who has a lot of power behind him, rushing up with that. That I don't want to more aging defense that they have. They really need some new guys, especially on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, and we had these two switched. I think just because as we were talking about Quinn.
Oh no! I think he disconnected again. Hold on. Sorry, folks.
You got me?
Yep, you disconnected again.
Oh, man. All right, we should be good for a while. You got me still?
Yeah, I hear you were just talking about Christian Wilkins.
Yeah. I don't know. I was saying, like, Quinn Williams, obviously, will bring that extra power push to that San Fran defense that they've been wanting for a while. And I think Wilkins will kind of be one of those guys that Gruden's going to kind of ride out for, I don't know, for quite a while. Because I was thinking the same thing with Khalil Mack. They keep him there. You know, they make him one of those veteran guys, like obviously Gruden likes, but that didn't happen. They traded for more veterans, but you know.
Yeah. All right. Moving down to number 5, my first O lineman. I know you like. I know you know I like them, but Juwan Taylor out of Florida.
Yep.
That the O line was a huge part of the really the demise of the Buccaneers. They really couldn't protect either Jameis Winston or Ryan Fitzpatrick too much at all that season. I feel like Juwan Taylor. I think they'll move him over to right tackle, being the blindside blocker. But I feel like that's going to take a lot of trust from the coaches down there in Tampa Bay. But I feel like that would be a good fit for Juwan Taylor, staying in Florida with the Buccaneers.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Winston took way too many hits this year. And when I say way too many, I mean way too many.
Yeah.
Fitzmagic, obviously, he gets elusive when he wants to, but if he plays at any time next year, he's definitely going to need an extra push from his blind side because he's slowly running out of years that he'll be able to move around the pocket consistently. So I definitely think it's a solid pick for Tampa Bay.
Yeah. All right, moving down to number 6 now for the Giants. I know
this is where we differ.
Yeah, I know everybody and their mother is saying that with the 6th overall pick, the Giants are going to take the successor to Eli Manning and Dwayne Haskins. But I really think that I know my friend Ben Picorni will like this. I don't know if he'll necessarily agree with me. But Drew Lock, the quarterback out of Mizzou, I feel like, kind of he's almost like Eli Manning in a way, really system quarterback, does have a little bit of speed on him, not too much though. He ran a 4.6 or 4.7. I'm just going to check real quick. He ran a 4.83. So, not the fastest, but that was his senior year of high school. But, as far as I can see. He did run a 4.83, so, he isn't the fastest guy, but he does really fit that system quarterback role that we've seen with the Giants and Eli Manning throughout the years.
Yeah, and I think, the one reason I took Haskins for 6th overall pick with them is I really see him blending or bonding with Saquon really well. If they can really establish a run game in that offense, I think they could be one of the most unstoppable offenses in the league. I mean, Haskins, he's a quick guy, but he's definitely not as fast as Kyler Murray.
That's true.
I think Haskins is exactly like Cam Newton. He's got a big build. He's a strong guy. He can take hits. And obviously, Eli Manning gets killed. So if he's able to take some hits, get out of the pocket, do something, make some plays with Odell, I think he'll be okay in New York.
Yeah, I think he'll do just fine.
Oh yeah.
I think you really can't go wrong with either of them. But I feel like
no.
Especially with the game growing, especially you see like the Cam Newtons coming out and. Josh Allen, Baker Mayfield, all these quarterbacks with, some speed. I feel like, it would be a smart move from the Giants, slow it down and get more of a system quarterback with Drew Lock.
Because, they've been with that system quarterback for so long with Eli. It's how can you go away from that?
Yeah, and I feel like, they've really kind of like built their offense around that, especially with Sterling Shepard, Odell Beckham Jr., you
Yep.
know, kind of just having the three step drop and throwing like a post to Odell Beckham Jr. or maybe like a slant to Sterling Shepard.
Yep.
Yep. But all right,
I,
moving on. Number 7, Jacksonville. I had them taking Cody Ford, the O lineman out of Oklahoma. And I feel like the Jags they do need a little they need help almost little bit everywhere, especially the D line, the O line especially. I don't know if you watch them very much, but their O line was horrendous last year. They really don't have any solid players on that O line, and I feel like it would be a good idea for them to take Cody Ford.
yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, people were really ripping Blake Bortles apart last year,
Yeah.
and I don't completely think it was his fault because,
Mm-hmm.
as you said, their old line they don't have anyone on their old line.
Yeah.
You get him a good guy where Bortles can drop to his left or drop to his right and feel safe.
Yeah.
Give him some time. Give him some time to throw the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he'd be a little more successful.
Mm-hmm.
Also, what hurt them was Marquise Lee was out for the year,
Yep.
who was their one stud wide receiver.
Yeah, the speed.
And also their tight end Austin Safarian Jenkins, he got hurt like 5 or 6 weeks into the year.
Mm-hmm.
He really just had no help around him.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, and I feel like that, like I said, the Jaguars, they do need little bits and pieces everywhere. So I wouldn't be surprised in the second round seeing them take a D lineman really to almost help out Calais Campbell, because it really looked like he was really putting the team on his back, kind of carrying them and carrying his defense. Him and I want to say Jalen Ramsey, but Jalen Ramsey kind of didn't really do too much at all this year.
No, I mean, I feel like he definitely was not able to back up any of his talk.
No.
Which I thought at the beginning of the year he was going to have a heck of a year after. He had a great year 2 years ago, and he comes out and he lays an egg,
Yeah.
That's not going to help out Bortles because their defensive side of the ball, they got all these big-name guys that are slowly falling apart.
All right, moving on to the Detroit Lions. I had them taking Ed Oliver, really boosting their D line. I know they have a few solid players down there with I think it's Damon Harrison. Correct me if I'm wrong, but
yep, that's right.
Yeah, they got a few solid players on the D line, and I feel like if they get especially Ed Oliver, even like a Quinnen Williams, if he falls that far, which I highly doubt he will. But getting a defensive line player really boosting that the pass rush, especially. I know the Lions needed a little bit of help in the pass rush, but because they really have a really solid secondary with Darius Slay, being the headliner of that. But I feel like if they could get a solid pass rush specialist guy like Ed Oliver, could really help them out a lot.
Yeah, and I kind of differentiated from you here. I had them taking Devin White.
From, the linebacker out of LSU, I think.
Yeah, out of LSU.
Yeah.
And he, I don't know. I feel like their D line, they could have a few touches, but I feel like they run a 3-4, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, and they have Ezekiel Ansah, who I think is, I think he's a stud.
Yeah.
I feel like they get a second round D tackle out of an SEC school, one of the powerhouses. They're going to be just fine. But if they can scoop up Devin White before he's gone, I think that'd definitely help out their 3-4 scenario a little bit.
For sure.
If they can get that secondary dominant, I think they could be possibly a top 10, top 15 defense in the league for sure.
For sure, yeah. And I had Devin White going to the next pick to the Bills from Buffalo. I don't really know what happened down there in Buffalo, but it felt like everything fell apart. Losing Tyrod Taylor and him going to the Browns was a big part of that. But they did. Josh Allen, he didn't do horribly. He showed a little bit of promise, but I feel like I think everyone's kind of on their toes down there in Buffalo, and I feel like they don't want to really risk it, drafting a skill position player. And because plus they already have, I think LaShawn McCoy is still down there. Correct me if I'm wrong. But
Yep, he's still there, but I think I think they definitely should try to get a little maybe a little gun and run offense. To be honest, get a little Josh Allen, LaShawn McCoy, read option action going, because I mean Josh Allen can run. I think he had what do you have, close to 800, 900 rushing yards on the year, I think.
I think so. I think that was around. It was around that number.
Yeah, I think it was close to the top in the league, if not the best. And I mean, people didn't give Tyrod Taylor any loving last year after he led that team to the playoffs, and so I think they're definitely going to scoop up Ed Oliver for that D line. I don't know, kind of get that head guy, that playmaker, that number one difference maker on their defense on the front line, which will really make a difference for them.
Yeah. Josh Allen last year ran the ball 89 times, which is almost crazy for a quarterback to run the ball that many times. He got a total of 631 yards on the year. So not that quite 800-yard figure we were talking about, but it was impressive.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you said he had 89 carries?
89 carries, yeah, which is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty absurd number. And if you look at LaShawn McCoy, I wouldn't be surprised if he had that many more.
Yeah, I think McCoy was hurt for a little bit of the year, but he obviously one of the premier rushers in the league. Especially in 2013, he just was outstanding. I feel like he has slowed down a little bit since coming into Buffalo, but he's done his part. I'm trying to find his rushing yards. Here we go. Yeah, he only ran for 514 yards last year, and
how many carries?
He had He had 161, so not the best from him.
So he didn't even have double of Allen's carries, and I mean, and Allen had more yards than him. I mean, that kind of sounds stupid, but Allen, he can run the ball. Allen, he's a very elusive quarterback.
Yeah, LaShawn McCoy only appeared in 13 games though, so he was hurt. But that 500 yards, that isn't the most impressive thing in the world.
No, yeah, for sure. I mean, we see guys like Alvin Kamara, who they're not even number. I mean, they are number one running backs, but he was splitting time for Mark Ingram when he came back, and he definitely surpassed 800 yards during the year.
Yeah, for sure. All right, moving down to Denver. This is where I feel like this is the next team other than New York who really needs a quarterback. After Case Keenum, he didn't really fare too well last year. Obviously showing, the third, because I think 2 years ago, wasn't he the third string quarterback for the Vikings?
Yeah, and then Sam Bradford and Teddy B both get hurt, and all of a sudden he steps up, and last year he had a real nice run with them. Them making it to the NFC championship game, but I don't know, it was kind of a disappointing year for him.
Yeah, and I feel like really risky move for Denver after not the best few years these past couple of years, but I feel like they can't wait anymore, and I feel like they're gonna take Dwayne Haskins with the 10th overall pick. That's just a lot of people will be asking me how can Dwayne Haskins fall that far, but he is, after New York, he is like the only team who really needs a quarterback.
Yeah, and I had Denver taking A.J. Brown, the wide receiver out of Ole Miss.
Okay, yeah.
Just because, Emmanuel Sanders and what was the rookie's name again out of Denver this year?
Oh yeah, I don't remember his name, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, and Courtland Sutton.
Yep.
Emmanuel Sanders and him, and I mean Demaryius Thomas was great there, but he gets traded, you
Mm.
know, with 5-6 weeks left in the season.
Mm-hmm.
Emmanuel Sanders tears his Achilles, and
Yeah.
Cortland Sutton's left all alone, and they're going with seventh and eighth stringers. I think AJ Brown will, kind of bring a little rookie spark with him, Sutton, and Emmanuel Sanders. It'd be a nice three-way wide receiver attack.
Yeah, I hear you. All right. Moving on. With the Bengals, I had them taking AJ Brown. I feel like the chance to see AJ Green and AJ Brown, two AJs, both solid wide receivers. I feel like that'd be great, especially for Andy Dalton, who he's getting a little old. I think he's 31 maybe, but I feel like the Bengals, kind of almost in a little bit of a rebuild, could really use a solid wide receiver.
Yeah, and here's where I had Drew Lock going. I know some people might not like this, but
Wow.
I have Drew Lock going 11th because I think Andy Dalton is washed up, and Andy Dalton gets hurt, and they bring in Jeff Driscoll out of Arkansas, and the guy doesn't even know how to throw a football. So I think they're kind of in a little debacle right now.
Yeah.
Okay, are we going to stick with Andy Dalton, or are we going to try to pick a QB up in the draft? I don't know. I could also see possibly Daniel Jones getting drafted at Cincinnati. I know
The guy
I had him
Duke.
going. I know I had him going a few rounds, a few picks later. But
Oh, when you said a few rounds, I was really surprised there. I was like, wait.
Yeah, no. I had a couple picks later, but
Yeah.
I think they're really in a little debacle there.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the next year's Super Bowl champs, the Green Bay Packers.
Yes, sir.
Oh, really rough year all around the board. Can't really make the excuse that you didn't have Aaron Rodgers, but I watched every single one of their games. You and I both big Packer fans, but it's like the defense just, if you could see over the years, like the only time they had like a decent defense was the year they won the Super Bowl 2011. And that's when they had, Nick Collins, Clay Matthews was playing good, AJ Hawk was playing good. They had Charles Woodson, all these really good players on the defense, and that's really but it's been gone for the past few years, and I feel like they're starting to get some players back. With Jair Alexander, I really like seeing him play, and a player that I didn't see play too much, but I really like is Josh Jackson. I saw him play, at Iowa, obviously in the Big Ten, but yeah, I really.
I really, really, really like Josh Jackson, Jair Alexander. When who was that? Oh yeah. When HaHa got traded, my brother right away texted me and goes, "Yeah, Traymon Williams getting moved to safety." I'm like, "Wait a second, there's no way this guy's getting moved to safety." And what happens? He gets moved to safety, and I mean, he played well, but
he didn't.
I definitely think Jair's a better better move over him for sure.
Yeah.
And if they bring in Clelin Ferrell from Clemson,
Yep.
Him and Clay Matthews on the outside could really be something special with my man Blake Martinez sitting at middle linebacker.
Yeah. I feel like they have enough pieces on the secondary, especially with a guy who I really love, but I didn't see play too much, was Josh Jones, number 27. When they traded HaHa, which I feel like I was one of the few Packer fans who liked that move, but when they traded HaHa, and I really thought they were just gonna put in Josh Jones because he was really, really good. Not this past year, but the year before that, his rookie year. I really liked watching him. But they didn't put him in. I don't know why. Maybe letting him develop. But I feel like Cecil and Farrell would really be a good fit for him. I have Cecil going to the Packers, and I feel like they really need any of the defensive help they can get, whether it be on my Whether it will whether it will be through the defensive line or the linebackers, and yeah, I had Farrell going to the Packers at 12.
Yeah, and getting back to the secondary, I really loved watching Rashad Breeland. To be completely honest,
Yeah, yeah.
I think that guy can play. He's obviously not as good as Ha because Ha's a Pro Bowler, but he really brought a good intensity to the defense, as well as Kevin King.
Yeah.
I know he got hurt early in the year, but I don't know, that guy laid a few good hits, and he obviously gets the defense fired up, whatever. And I definitely.
Please tell me he didn't get disconnected again. Oh Christ! Sorry for these technical difficulties.
You there?
Yep, you here?
Yeah, I'm here. All right. Anyways, just talking about the Packers secondary. I don't know. I feel like that outside linebacker would really fit our 3-4 scheme that well, McCarthy did like to run, but now Matt
LaFleur,
yeah.
Alrighty, we are running out of time, so we're gonna have to do these next 30 picks a little quickly. All right, number 13, I had Daniel Jones, a quarterback out of Duke, going to the Miami Dolphins. Who'd you have there?
Well, I actually had Kyler Murray
wow.
From, as everyone knows, Oklahoma. I think, obviously, Ryan Tannehill, he's done.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think if they can get kind of what I was talking about with Haskins and Barkley before, obviously, Frank Gore, he's getting old, whatever. He can still run the ball. Great running back. But I think if they can get Kyler and Kenyon Drake kind of running a little scheme offense together, I definitely think that could be a threat to opposing defenses. And maybe if Devontae Parker could ever get healthy, I think that would definitely help.
Yeah, all right. Number 14, you still here, Ray?
Yeah, I'm still here.
All right, cool. Just making sure. Number 14, the Atlanta Falcons. I think I don't really know what exactly happened last year, but they do have some solid players on offense. Obviously Julio Jones, Matt Ryan, but I feel like they're gonna need to boost their defense. And I had Jeff Simmons out of the D lineman out of Mississippi State going 14th overall to the Falcons.
Yeah, I as well did.
Okay.
I don't know. I felt like their passing attack was okay. I mean, they have a few good corners. Secondary's pretty good, but that front line could not shut down the run last year.
Yeah.
That was definitely a rough year for them.
I hear you.
Yep.
All right, I have at 14 15, the Washington Redskins. They can't wait anymore. I have them taking Kyler Murray, obviously the quarterback out of Oklahoma, and I said that I don't know if he's gonna sign with Washington. I feel like that might be a rare occurrence of an NFL player getting drafted and then not signing. But it's just a gut feeling. I feel like the Washington, they're obviously going to need a quarterback after. I think we saw Mark Sanchez play for them, and the guy they just had no quarterbacks. So I feel like they just can't wait. I feel like they're going to need to take Kyler Murray.
Yeah, and once again, here's where we differ. I have them taking Daniel Jones out of Duke.
Okay.
I mean, the guy can absolutely sling the football. The guy's got a hose, and I don't know. I feel like he fits their kind of conservative run the ball because they got Adrian Peterson, Chris Thompson out of the backfield, who's their third down running back.
Yep.
I feel like he fits that kind of conservative check down, and I on second down or first down surprise a team with a deep ball to either Jamison Crowder or maybe Jordan Reed. I feel like he kind of fits that role that they want.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Moving on to 16, the Carolina Panthers. They're going to add to their defense. I have them taking Rashawn Gray, the D end out of Michigan, and I said that they're going to move him to an outside linebacker position. Really have some solid linebackers. Him and Kuechly, I feel like would make a great 1-2 punch.
Yeah, and then you got Thomas Davis in the middle of the field. That could really be dangerous for opposing offenses.
Alrighty.
Do you want to do the next 16 in the next one, or you want to?
Yeah, I feel like that'd be a great idea to do. So, I want to thank everybody for tuning in to the Hardballs podcast. The first one, we had some technical difficulties. And Ray, you want to say anything before we sign off?
Hey, go subscribe to the channel, everyone, and next podcast will be coming shortly for sure.
Yeah. So we just want to thank everyone for tuning in who stayed for the full 53 minutes. We appreciate all of you, and take care. Goodbye.